Welcome back. We're going to talk about how to achieve financial independence. Now, why is this important? Because unfortunately, a lot of people go through their entire life and they still have too much month left at the end of their money, so to speak. And so I'm going to give you a vision of how you can be financially independent in as little as 10 years. If you're young, how to have your money earning more than you do by age 32, to be able to have a transformation so that you don't have to worry about working for money, because money at work is more predictable and safe than you being able to get up every day and working. I'm going to give you some very specific action steps that you can take to be able to achieve financial independence and never have to worry about money again. So I'm Doug Andrew, and I've witnessed in 45 years being a financial strategist, a lot of people struggle with this question: how do I achieve financial independence? It's so interesting to me that we send our children to school and college to help them learn how to go out and make money or make a living, but we don't invest in the education of what to do with that money. So all too often we end up shorthanded, we're consuming. There's three types or sources of income: man at work, money at work, or charity. Which one would you like? Well, when you understand how to have your money work for you, it will work 24/7. And if you have a setback, if you get sick or disabled, you can go away on a vacation. Your money is working 24/7 to help you achieve financial independence. Now, as an author, I've written 11 books thus far. My goal is to write at least one book every year the rest of my life. But my first book was titled Missed Fortune, because of the fortunes people miss out on when they simply don't know what they don't know. In that book, I outlined 23 chapters, which I called Myth Conceptions. It's all these myths about money. So I would teach people about the reality. What's the truth? What's the strategy to overcome that myth? And many times people think, well, you have to have a lot of money to start out with. No, you don't. In fact, the fourth book that I co-authored with my two sons, Emron and Aaron, is Millionaire by 30. I'm going to share with you how they didn't start with anything except wisdom. I didn't give them any money. And they had net worths of $1.6 million each by ages 26 and 28. And it was not learned in college. Unfortunately, you don't learn this stuff in school. We learn it by going out and rubbing shoulders with the people who really understand money. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand how money works. So let's give you a few tips on how to achieve financial independence. And then I have a lot of other information I can point you to, so you can take control and have your money earning more than you do, maybe by age 32. So how did we get here? A lot of times people go through life and they stay in the same striving zone, always striving, but they seem to always have too much month left at the end of their money, and they wonder, well, I don't have any extra money to set aside. We seem to always be able to spend whatever we earn. If we get a raise or whatever, have you ever noticed that you'll always find a place for that extra amount of money that you're earning? So one of the secrets is to learn to live on less than what you earn, and setting aside 2 or 3% of your income isn't going to cut it. I taught my family, my clients, you need to set aside more like 10 to 20% of your income if you want to be financially independent by the end of 10 years, let's say. But the key is to understand what I call the 3 marvels, or miracles, really, of wealth accumulation. And before I give you those 3, I want you to understand that unfortunately a lot of people, if they're trying to go around, let's say, a racetrack, and let's say the finish line is $1 million. Okay, this is called the $1 million dash. A lot of people go through life crawling around there because they're putting their money in taxed as earned investments. It's the worst way to save it, but the most common way people save in banks and credit unions, paying you 1%. It's going to take 72 years for you to double your money at 1% interest. That's the rule of 72, which I talk about in another video. Some people walk around the racetrack. They take after-tax money and put it into a tax-deferred vehicle, an annuity or something. That's okay, but you're just walking. It'll take you a long time to get around there. Some people jog. They put money in a tax-deferred IRA or 401k, but when they hit retirement, they're shocked because of the amount of taxes they have to pay that gobbles up about 25%, maybe a third or even 40% of what they socked away, because the government's there with their handout. They want their share. But I would rather sprint. So I want you to be able to sprint around this $1 million dash and arrive at financial independence in short order so that your money is earning more than you do. You can sit back and relax and anything else is gravy and you can sleep at night. So I'm going to share with you the 3 marvels of wealth accumulation, give you an outline, and then other videos can help you dive deeper into how to harness those 3 marvels or miracles. So here we go. I hope you're writing these down. Marvel number 1 is the power of compound interest. Now, sometimes I say that and CPAs and tax attorneys go, oh, I understand compound interest. I go, oh, really? And I actually test them on it, and most of them fail. I'll have you watch another video to see the riddle and the question that I give them. But see, compounding interest instead of simple interest. That's the first marvel. This helps you soar financially. $1 doubling every period for 20 periods will be worth $1,048,000. But see, a lot of people are crawling or walking around because they are trying to earn compound interest, but it's not very high, or they're going to have to pay tax. And so the impact of taxes will take you way longer. That's why you're walking instead of jogging or sprinting. And so you have to take into consideration the negative impact that I talk about in other videos of inflation and taxes and so forth. So you have to harness the second marvel. That is to be able to accumulate that money tax-free. Now, some people say, well, you mean in an IRA or 401k? No, that's not tax-free. That's just tax deferred. You're just putting it off. You're sort of deferring or procrastinating paying the tax, and people think that's smart because you're going to be in a lower bracket. Well, that is not true. So you want to have money be compounding in a tax-free environment, and I can prove to you that if it's tax-free, $1 doubling every period for 20 periods is $1 million that's your money. If that's in a tax-deferred IRA or 401k, no, about 350,000 of that belongs to the government. Federal government, and 41 out of 50 states in the United States has a state income tax. So if you want all of it to be your money, you want to sprint so that the $1 million at the finish line is yours, all yours, not 1/3 Uncle Sam's. Now, the third marvel, a lot of people don't understand. It's the secret of positive leverage. Now, sometimes people who hear leverage, they go, oh, no, that can get you into trouble. No, leverage is what makes the world go round. Now, leverage without liquidity is stupidity. And so in other videos, I'll explain why. But basically, leverage is the ability to own and control assets with very little or none of your money tied up or at risk in that asset. Ooh, that's a lot to swallow, right? So in order to achieve financial independence, one must harness the value of these 3 marvels or miracles of wealth accumulation. 1, compound interest. 2 would be tax-favored accumulation of that compound interest. And 3 would be safe, positive leverage. Again, the ability to own and control those assets with very little or none of your money tied up or at risk in that asset. Now, this is a lot to swallow. Let me just share with you, this is the secret behind how my 2 sons, Emron and Aaron, from age 21 until ages 26 and 28, accumulated net worths each of $1.6 million by using those three marvels. So because this is a lot to digest, many people find it valuable to be able to dive deep into these concepts. In all of my books, I talk about these three marvels or miracles of wealth accumulation. My most recent book, The Laser Fund, a bestseller now, is actually two books in one. This is comprised of 200 pages, 14 chapters, with all kinds of charts and graphs that will help you understand how to harness these three marvels or miracles. If you learn more by stories, you flip the book over this direction and you read here about 100 pages, 12 chapters, with 62 actual client stories of people who have implemented these various strategies to become financially independent, and you can too. You can click here at the bottom. I'll give you a copy of this book absolutely free. Just cover nominal shipping and handling charge. And I want to empower you with further information on how you can achieve the financial independence that you desire.